Hey guys, welcome to this video. I'm Prajwal from Indie Crypto, and inside this video I'm discussing on how to prepare yourself for the upcoming Bitcoin forks. Now we'll see what are the two forks that are upcoming for the Bitcoin network, when they'll be happening and why are they happening, and also the precautions you need to take before, during and after these forks. So let's get straight into it. So the first fork is happening on 25th October 2017, which is called the Bitcoin Gold fork. The second one is the Segwit2x fork. This is roughly happening around 17th or 18th of November 2017, specifically on the block number 494784. Now once these forks happen, there'll be 4 blockchains, 3 of them emerging from the main Bitcoin network. Now as you guys know, Bitcoin was created in the year 2009, and this year on August 1st 2017 there was a hard fork which resulted in Bitcoin Cash. The same is going to happen with Bitcoin Gold after 25th of October 2017, and the same with Segwit2x after mid-November 2017. So these 3 blockchains, or these 3 alt bitcoins or alt cryptocurrency, whatever you can call them, will be sharing the same transaction history with Bitcoin until the day they fork. So for example, Bitcoin Gold will be sharing the same transaction history with Bitcoin until 25th of October 2017, after which it will have its own blockchain and it will have its own transactions. The same is going to happen with Segwit2x coins as well. So first let's discuss about Bitcoin Gold. Why is Bitcoin Gold fork happening, and what are the advantages of this? Now the development team behind Bitcoin Gold think that the Bitcoin mining is centralized. This is because Bitcoin, the main Bitcoin network, uses an algorithm called SHA-256 algorithm, which is mined on ASIC chips. ASIC meaning application specific integrated chips. Now there are very few companies who have access to these chips. For example, there's a company called Bitmain in China who manufacture these ASIC chips, and most of the Bitcoin mining companies buy or order their ASIC chips from Bitmain. So because of this, several people think that Bitmain has a vested interest in mining, and they have majority of the shares in the Bitcoin mining. So because of this, the Bitcoin mining seems to be centralized, with the power relying on very few companies who have access to this specialized hardware. So the main aim of Bitcoin Gold is to build a blockchain that is ASIC resistant. So this Bitcoin Gold network can only be mined on GPUs, that is graphic processing units, by normal people with the normal computers which has video cards on them. So how do this Bitcoin Gold developers look forward to achieve this? So they shifted from SHA-256 algorithm to an algorithm called Equihash, which is an algorithm that can be used on normal computers, and the tokens can be mined using video cards and graphic processing units. Now Ethereum also uses Equihash algorithm, and even Zcash uses Equihash algorithm as well. So the Bitcoin Gold hard fork is planned for October 25th 2017, but there are a lot of developments that are still pending, like replay attacks, and few exchanges have also come forward saying the Bitcoin developers have not given the code to the exchanges. So there are a lot of things still in confusion when it comes to Bitcoin Gold fork. So assuming all those things, I think the network might not go live until November 1st of 2017. We'll have to just wait and watch on what's going to happen. Moving on to the Segwit2x fork. Now Segwit2x fork was a technical compromise that happened in the New York agreement between the Bitcoin miners and the businesses. Now these miners, the Bitcoin miners, used their power to actually implement the Segwit protocol on the main Bitcoin network. And this particular Segwit protocol implementation came with an agreement that 3 months later the Bitcoin network's block size will be increased from 1 megabyte to 2 megabyte. So this Segwit was activated in August 1st of 2017, and 3 months later, that's in November, is when the block size will be increased from 1 megabyte to 2 megabyte. So the hard fork is going to take place approximately on 17th or 18th of November, depending on the hash rate, and it will happen on the block 494784. So that's just about both the hard forks, the Bitcoin Gold and the Segwit2x forks. Now let's look at the precautions that you should be taking before the fork first. Now the first thing is you can go ahead and leave the Bitcoins on the Bitcoin Gold and Segwit2x supported exchanges. Now how do you determine which exchange supports them or not? You'd have to get in touch with your exchange for that. Go ahead and check out their socials, go ahead and check out their blogs to see what are the steps they are rolling out for these forks. There are already few exchanges who have come out. For example, Coinbase has come out with a statement on their website saying that they might not be supporting Bitcoin Gold and they're focused more on Segwit2x because the Bitcoin Gold developers have not provided the code to Coinbase. So these are the things you might have to consider. So get in touch with your exchanges and see what are their plans on both the forks. Now I will be doing a specific video on Indian exchanges, what are their responses to both the forks coming. So I have already tweeted them as well and I've got a few replies from them. So I'll go ahead and share that with you guys in the next video. So if you're from India and you're watching this video, go ahead and subscribe to this channel right away, because you will be notified once I upload the next video. So if you choose to keep your Bitcoins in these exchanges of your choice during the fork, please be aware that ultimately providing the alternate coins like Bitcoin Gold or Segwit2x coins will ultimately be the exchange's decisions and not yours, because once you're leaving the Bitcoins on exchange's wallet, they have access to the private keys and they are in control, not you. So think before you go ahead and leave your Bitcoins or funds in the exchange wallets. That's going to be very important. And exchanges during these forks might go ahead and stop the trading of Bitcoin completely on their platforms. So also be aware of that. We have seen this before during the Bitcoin Gold fork as well. Even during the recent Ethereum fork that happened on October 17th, most of the exchanges stopped the Ethereum exchange or Ethereum trading. So be aware of that. Go ahead and investigate, go ahead and research and make your decisions. So alternatively, what you can also do is you can store your Bitcoins in your own wallets like paper wallets, or if you have a hardware wallet like a Ledger Nano, or mobile wallets like Coinomi, and save your private keys, seed phrases and secret words. So this way you have complete control of the private keys of your wallets. So when the forks happen, you can then go ahead and look at what are the steps that you need to take to get your Bitcoin Gold and Segwit2x coins from these wallets and follow it accordingly. It's always recommended to have your Bitcoins in the wallets that you have control over, because this will give you complete control over your Bitcoin and your funds. So I highly recommend you to store your Bitcoins in your own wallets that I've recommended here. Now, what are the precautions that you need to be taking during the fork? Now, during the fork, it is a common sense to avoid Bitcoin transactions, because there's a lot of consensus changes that will be taking place. So it's good to avoid any Bitcoin transaction during this phase. And also remain patient until 100% of the dust is settled before you actually transact. So go ahead and look out on the Bitcoin Reddit, the socials, about what other people are telling about the fork. Was it successfully completed? Are the transactions going through? And what's happening? Because there'll be a lot of confusion after the fork because of the blockchain reorganizations. There are also replay attacks probability on Bitcoin Gold and Segwit2x blockchain networks. So if you guys don't know about replay attacks, now since Bitcoin Gold and Segwit2x will be emerging from the Bitcoin main blockchain, they all share the same private keys. So in case after the fork you want to send Bitcoin Gold to someone, there is a high probability that your Bitcoin might also go with your Bitcoin Gold to the end receiver. So this is called replay attacks. Now Segwit2x developers and Bitcoin Gold developers have promised that they're going to implement the replay attacks code on their blockchain, but if you check the GitHub repository, it's still not been implemented. Okay, so there is a high risk of you losing your Bitcoin if you don't go ahead and save your Bitcoins properly, and please do not transact during the hard fork times, and wait till all the networks or all the confusion in the networks has been eliminated, and only then start transacting with Bitcoin again. And in case there is a very need or a necessity to use, you can go ahead and use altcoins, right? You can basically go ahead and use Litecoin, you can use Ethereum, you can use Bitcoin Cash, which are not subject to the Bitcoin forks. You can use these altcoins for storing, transferring, or purchases, or anything you need with. Okay, so what are the precautions that you need to take after the fork? Now as I already said, you'd have to remain patient and wait until the dust is settled, and start investigating about both the forks, about what are the results of these forks, how are the companies responding, how are the users, how are the developers responding to these forks, and if there are any security issues, or if there are any technical failures, and what's happening with the entire cryptocurrency community. And also research on how to import your private keys on whatever wallets that you're using, and how you can go ahead and claim your Bitcoin Gold and Segwit2x tokens. Also get in touch with whatever wallets you're using, get in touch with their support on social media or the support forums, and see if when they're going to provide you access to the tools that will help you with accessing your Bitcoin Gold and Segwit2x tokens. So if you look at the previous hard fork that happened with Bitcoin Cash, the Bitcoin wallets like Coinomi and BTC and Mycelium, they all went ahead and provided a tool for separating or getting your Bitcoin Cash. And the same will go ahead and happen with Bitcoin Gold and Segwit2x as well. But there will definitely be a wait time for these guys to go ahead and provide you with that tool. So you might have to follow up with them and see when they will go ahead and provide you access with these tools. And after this, you can always choose a side of which blockchain you will be supporting. And for this, you might have to go ahead and download the entire node, that's the full node. So this way you will be able to enforce the rules, and also use your wallet in a specific blockchain, and go ahead and support those blockchain. Now what are the security issues that are pertaining to this two forks? The first thing, as I already mentioned, the replay protection. the Bitcoin Gold and Segwit2x, both the developers have not added replay protection onto the project's code. Segwit2x initially had an opt-in type replay protection, but the developers have removed it from the protocol. And Bitcoin Gold developers promised that the replay protection will be implemented, but if you actually check their code from the GitHub repository, it's not been implemented yet. Now both these forks might go ahead and add the replay protection, but we would have to wait and see because it's not been implemented at the time of recording this video. And as I mentioned already, during this replay attack, there's very high chances that you might lose your Bitcoin if you go ahead and display or broadcast your private keys to the Bitcoin network. So wait until the dust is settled and investigate and research on what's happening with all three networks. So very important point again, guys, keep your private keys of your Bitcoin wallets to yourself. Also save your seed phrases and secret words of your wallets. This is the only way you can go ahead and save your Bitcoins and from your losses, and also claim your Bitcoin Gold and Segwit2x coins. Now this is my personal opinion on the entire fork, on what precautions you need to be taking. I highly recommend you also to check out other various sources and take the necessary steps to safeguard yourself and save your Bitcoins, and also claim the other alt tokens as well. So that's it in this video, guys. So if you have any questions relating to this hard fork that's upcoming, or if you have any questions relating to anything relating to cryptocurrencies, go ahead and leave it in the comment sections below. I would definitely love to read them and answer them. So that's it in this video, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.